And this a game with huge significance in that race to reach the Benacos BBL playoffs. 5th versus 9th, and the hosts looking to get back to winning ways after their run of victories ended at 6 with that midweek loss at Sheffield Sharks. And Rock's coach Vincent Levandier, feeling his team had a little bit of tiredness that night down in Yorkshire, believes though they are still on the right track, and coming in today against Bristol, a team he regards very highly, thinks that the key for them will be making sure that they retain the focus that they've had in recent weeks and continue to make a charge towards the top 4. A victory today would move the Rocks back up into 4th place. As for visiting Bristol, coming here full of confidence after their Friday night rout of BBL leaders London Lions, an 80-64 victory led by as much as 21. A very impressive display. A win here would put them back into the top 6, and coach Andreas Kapula is setting a target of winning 5 of their last 8 to make the playoffs. Liked how they defended on Friday. Focus, he says, here is the key. The starters for Glasgow this afternoon, same as it was in Friday night. It will be Greg Pryor, Kenny Carpenter in the backcourt, and that front line that's been playing so well in recent weeks of Gareth Murray, Bo Ziegler and Ali Fraser. As for the visiting Bristol Flyers, the big news for them tonight, Jalen McLeod is out with a hamstring, expected to miss this week, possibly next. Lewis Champion will get the start in the backcourt alongside Fred Thomas, Justin Gray, Tevin Falson, and the big fella in the middle, Daniel Ludozi, their front 3. The Rocks tonight playing in blue, Bristol playing in red, and your 3 officials are Marianne Dodds, Graham Shaw and Josh Bowe. Tonight, give us a sum up of this matchup. How do you feel it's going to go?
Yeah, well, I think the Glasgow Rocks will be happy with Jalen McLeod being out. He is Bristol's leading steal maker there, so that's a big positive for them, that they do have that defensive intensity from Bristol that is out of the game. However, though, on their own end, they need to keep the defensive intensity they've had. You know, Coach Lavandier has come up and he's made a brilliant job putting in a new defensive scheme. The offense is ticking nicely. Still, you know, improvement to be made, but that can be made for the rest of the season. No sloppy possessions, I think, tonight, and run the floor well. They've got to execute on offense and on defense, and they'll be okay.
I should have introduced you to Jonathan McLeod. Apologies there. He's not so long without me giving his thoughts on tonight's game. A big packed house here at the Emirates Arena on a Sunday night. The Rocks tonight with an opportunity to set a new club record of 9 consecutive home wins, and a head-to-head on the line as well tonight. Bristol winning 85-83 when the Rocks travelled south back in October, and the Flyers second best when they came here back in February. The Rocks that night winning 99-82. So lots at stake as this roll into the end of the domestic season, the end of the league campaign comes towards its end. Lots of intrigue and lots of potential for moving up and down in the standings over these last few weeks. Every game from now on sure to count. It is Dozie against Ziegler for the tip-off, and it is Glasgow Rocks against the Bristol Flyers. The first possession of the game into the hands of the hosts. Pryor, who's been playing so well since Levandier came to Glasgow. Gareth Murray gives it out onto the wing, goes to Fraser in the post. 8 in the shot clock. Fraser runs into Daniel Dozie, who forces the turnover. And Dozie's big presence in the middle, so hard to handle, Jonathan.
Yeah, he is a big guy that Ali Fraser will have to deal with. I was chatting to him midweek, and Mr. Fraser was telling me of all the tough guys he has to take on in the league, and he is one of the top guys in the league. He's so strong. He's physically imposing. He's huge. You know, he's a big lane clogger that, you know, Rocks will have to work around. He's someone that I think Ali Fraser will have a really interesting matchup tonight. It'll be great.
Shot clock almost at 0. Rocks knocked it out of bounds. The last touch from Carpenter. It said 2 left in the shot clock. Andreas Kapoulas on the sidelines. Inbound from Lewis Champion. Has started before this season with all the injuries that Flyers have had to deal with. Thought that was a foul. Instead, It is given as a Rocks possession on the end line. One other game going on in the BBL tonight. It's reached half-time, a game of huge significance in terms of the title. London Lions leading Newcastle Eagles 54-32 at the break. And Lions, having played so poorly against Bristol 2 nights ago, back on song tonight. Carpenter from deep. Doesn't make it. Fraser scramble for the rebound. Instead falls the way of Bristol Flyers. Go low in the post. Tevin Falson guarded by Ziegler. Opts for the pull-up. Ziegler's defense very much one of the keys to the Rocks' rise up the table in recent weeks. We should say no Buna Njai for Glasgow tonight. Is sitting out with an Achilles strain. Not expected to be too long an absence, he told me before the game. Says it's been hurting him for at least a couple of months now. But he will stay on the bench tonight. You can see him there just in the middle of your picture at the top in his uniform. As Justin Gray picks up the first foul for Bristol. Pryor, 10 on the shot clock. Guarded by Champion. Screen set by Fraser. Pryor drives. Both these teams struggling to score yet. You get the first points when they get boards. Dozy cut inside. Well, wasn't pretty, but Lewis Champion made it. First score of the game to Bristol.
2 points is 2 points, isn't it? Ziegler is one of the guys that's benefited massively from the new coach coming in. He's found his confidence. He's a new player offensively and defensively. I was chatting to Mr. Johnny Bunyan as well. He says he's been great in training. Someone they love playing with now.
And there he is, the aforementioned Ziegler. Misses that shot though. Pull up from Champion. Makes it for 3. 5 quick points. And Lewis Champion, of course, is those 3 titles at the first division of the NBL level, with Reading and Northumbria stepping up to the BBL this year. He certainly look much more comfortable at this level. 18 minutes a game he's now averaging for the campaign. Prior to Ziegler. Can he get the Rocks on the board with that reverse? Indeed he does. Carpenter. Fred Thomas, daring Ziegler. Shot won't fall. Fraser's first rebound. Kenny Carpenter into the lane. Floater goes. Rocks within 1. Really the key for Glasgow tonight defensively, you think, is stopping that Bristol pick and roll. Maybe a little easier without Jalen McLeod being available. As the foul was called. 6:32 left in the first quarter. As Greg Pryor picks up the Rocks' first foul of the game.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. You see in that last possession there, they had dual screens coming from both sides. They're a team that love to use the pick and roll.
Step back. Thomas doesn't go.
Bristol early on haven't been crashing the offensive boards, which I think is something that Rocks will need to capitalise on. You know, they can't give any second chance points up.
No score there. Foul was called. Sideline ball for Glasgow Rocks. As Lewis Champion picks up his first. Waited for the return, gets it now on the elbow. Kick to Ziegler in the post. Back down, foul zone, but forced to travel. Tevin foul zone. Very much the match there. Bristol have talked this past 48 hours since they beat London about the importance of getting a good start here this afternoon. Especially with the Rocks in such good form at home. Slash to the basket from Gray, doesn't go. Rocks on the break. Carpenter, head to Murray. Had options. Well, Justin Gray attempted the acrobatic play. Just caught Ziegler as he went up. Second foul on Justin Gray, who will immediately be replaced by Panos Mayandombe. Crucial second foul. Gray had such a great game against Lions the other night, 16 points, 13 rebounds. Ziegler at the line, where he is not the strongest, 48% on the season. So by the law of almost averages, he should make this one. Let's see. Chance to put the Rocks level. And he takes it. 3 points for Ziegler. Champion waits for some help. Mayandombe almost stripped. Foul is called.
Glasgow have to do a much better job switching on all the screens. There's 3 screens in that play alone. Something they're going to have to switch on every time, get the defense up. We're seeing a lot of down screens to get shooters open. Something that coach, I'm sure, will be aware of.
6 in the shot clock, swing pass from deep. Doesn't fall for Tevin Falzon. Rebound, Mayandombe doesn't go. Dozy scramble for it. Instead the Rocks break. 2 on 1. Ziegler, the reverse, drew the foul as he went up. Halfway through this first quarter. As you'd expect from 2 teams with lots to play for, not much in it so far. First foul against Fred Thomas. Sends Ziegler back to the line. Missed the first, we've said that before tonight. Does he make the second once again? Keeping that up. Rocks with the first lead of this game. As Mike Vigor checks in place of Tevin Falzon for Bristol Flyers. Of course, Vigor, a member of that Scotland team that reached the semi-finals of the Commonwealth Games just exactly 12 months ago. Lots of catching up with his former teammates before the game tonight. Adversaries now, though. Mayandombe swing past to Vigor, 2 in the shot clock. Is he aware? The answer is no. Shot is waved off. Ball pressure paying off there from Glasgow.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, Glasgow doing a much better job there switching on all the screens. They isolate Vigor out in the wing, and obviously his awareness of the clock doesn't help. But Glasgow doing a much better job on defense now, reacting to the Bristol offense.
6-0 run for Glasgow. Fraser just got it in. Fraser's first score. Little pass inside. Step back floater drops in for Fred Thomas. Caps Glasgow's run at 8-0. Fraser just gets it in. 4 points for the GV forwards. 3 points the difference. Champion guarded by Murray. 5 in the clock. Thomas for 3. Won't fall. Ziegler's board. Murray opts for the 3. Doesn't go. Thomas takes the board, now breaks. Feed to Daniel Udozi. brings Bristol within 1.
Glasgow just don't get back fast enough there. Gareth Murray doesn't stay home and get underneath the basket. He just decides instead to go take the wing. So home obviously then becomes a basket.
Steal for Bristol. Break from Thomas. Ziegler, rather than letting the easy score, opts for the foul, picks up his first. Marcus Delpeche will check in place of Daniel Udozi for Bristol Flyers. And for Glasgow, first minutes of the night, Tadas Rinkunis and Kieran Achara. Carpenter and Fraser take a breather for the hosts. 2 shots to come from Thomas. Misses the first. Shooting just under 80% this season from the foul line. This is third season out of Mississippi State. Played his first couple of years over in Scandinavia. 1 or 2 from the line. And near a level. 2:30 to go in the first quarter. Kunis first touch. Plenty of ball movement from the energy bunny Bo Ziegler. 3 in the shot clock. Pryor opts for the 3, makes a 3.
You see that movement from Bo Ziegler on the inside really does distract the defense. Gives Greg Pryor the opportunity to pull up.
Marcus Delpeche in the post, backs down Murray. Can't get room, forced to go back up high. Thomas from deep. Misses, gets his own rebound. Makes it second chance opportunity. Cuts the gap to 1, less than 2 to play in the first quarter. Pryor waits for the screen from Achara. Foul's called off the ball. See who that goes against in the end. Substitutions for Bristol Flyers. Jordan Nichols checking in place of Lewis Champion. Fixing that shot, that foul count there. As Achara goes to the line. Makes the first. He's so reliable. It's Kieran Achara from the foul line. 3rd best free throw percentage in the league's history. Just over 86%. It's a list that's not topped by Chris Alexander, Sheffield Sharks. Shooting 87.8%. Went through the minimum 253 throws you need to attempt to make the list in midweek. There's a drive to the basket finished by Marcus Delpeche.
Well, it shows you, doesn't it? Always be practicing your free throws, always practice the basics, fundamentals.
Yeah, Charles has been so consistent there throughout his entire career, clubs and country. There he is in the middle, a kick out, Rinkunis open, 3. Chara with the board. Just off the target. Thomas. Feed in the post, Delpeche. Well, not the prettiest of shots. Not desired effect at the finish. Ziegler. Guarded by Delpeche. Spin move in the post, gets it off the glass, doesn't fall though. Thomas with the board. Mayan Dombe. 11 in the shot clock. Thomas from way out makes a 3. Flyers back in front. Shot clock is off. 15 seconds remain in this first quarter. And the Rocks draw a level. Floater from Pryor levels the game. 3 seconds left. They'll have to heave this. not on the target, and a very even first quarter.
Yeah, absolutely. The tempo in the first half of that first quarter was absolutely rattling. You know, the scoreboard didn't show it, but the teams were going end to end. They slowed down towards the end there, really got into the half-court sets. Del Pesh is someone I think they can leave open around the perimeter. He's not a great shooter, but they do have to be able to watch him in the interior. There's a few switches from Glasgow Rocks' defense that didn't quite make sense. You know, you saw the Bristol's last three there was wide open, and Murray switched far too early. Other than that, Rocks' defense has been up there. You know, they've guarded the interior, they've forced the ball in transition, they've put the ball inside, they've let everyone get touches on the ball. It's been great to watch.
At the end of the first quarter, we're deadlocked here. It's Glasgow Rocks 17, Bristol Flyers 17. Here to the Emirates Arena, it's a Sunday afternoon. It's BBL Championship action, and we're level after one quarter between the Glasgow Rocks and the Bristol Flyers. A game-high 8 points from Fred Thomas so far. Visiting Flyers shooting 38% from the field. The Rocks game-high scores. Greg Pryor with 5 points. The Rocks shooting 6 of 13 from the field. And really, there's been nothing in it to this point. The biggest lead, 5-0 start for Bristol. Back and forth we go. Second quarter underway. Bristol in red, Glasgow in blue. Johnny Bunyan with his first minutes for Glasgow this evening. Glasgow crowding out the middle. Jordan Nichols from the corner doesn't go. Kunis went for the rebound, just went out of bounds. Applause from Andreas Kapoulis.
Yeah, Coach Kapoulis is probably one of the most active coaches I've seen in the league. That guy never stops moving. It's fantastic to see. It's so energetic on the sideline.
Yeah, he was trying to dribble the ball before the game on the sidelines and lost it. A few ironic cheers from the sideline. He said to me, "That's why I don't play." As they say, those who can't do teach. Nichols guarded by Bunyan. Built pass into the middle. Vigor is open off the glass.
What fantastic vision that is from the pass there. Vigor as well does a great job sealing his man away and getting the roll to the basket.
Vigor's 12th appearance since he rejoined Bristol in mid-season. Took that first period part of the campaign off to rest after a couple of years of non-stop playing. Picks up the board. He was born in Aberdeen, raised in Australia. Raised all over the place, in fact. Jumper doesn't go. Del Pesh scramble for the rebound instead of Chara comes up with it. Jordan Nichols goes flying. Rinkunis thought about the shot. Instead they go back. Chara finds Murray. Looks for the pass. He was forced out to Bunyan. He's been shooting it very well. Instead they go feed in the post. Ziegler, 4 on the clock. I'll wiggle through the gap there. Dombey. Vigor opts for the 3. Good decision on his behalf.
Big guy's a good touch outside.
Well, Vigor shooting 44% from deep, so he has got range. Chara bulldozering towards the basket. Kieran Chara, 4 points in the game. Rocks within 3.
Obviously Kieran Chara getting up there in age, but I think people forget just how physically strong he is. You know, he can move people when he's going to the basket.
Nichols lost it as he went up there. Ali Fraser returns to the fray, replacing Bo Ziegler. Kenny Carpenter replaces Gareth Murray. Yet to score Murray, but of course always a defensive presence. Johnny Bunyan gets over mid-court. Carpenter comes as reinforcements. Foul was called there as Vigor went to the floor. That's an offensive foul was called against Kieran Chara, picks up his first. Ton of bricks on that one. Back up now.
See a little bit of bumping going on between Achara and Vigor. Friends from Australia, but not friends here.
I was thinking friends, just opponents. Tough guys.
Two big guys wanting to win.
Step back from Thomas. Doesn't fall. Carpenter. Nice little move off the glass. Kenny Carpenter, 4 points in the game. Rocks within 1. 7 to play in the second. What a play! Drive into the middle. Drew the foul. Terrific play there. All athleticism. Marcus Delpeche sitting down, replaced by Daniel Odozi. Chance now for a three-point play. Justin Gray not quite there as he went back down. Chara, the up and under, won't go. Graham the ball once more. Off the glass, 2 athletic scores in a row for Justin Gray. 5 points the gap once more for Bristol.
Gray's first step coming off the dribbles is so quick. It just beats his defender every time. You saw the first foul came from that first step, and there he exploits Achara.
Chara from the corner. Bunyan comes up with the board. Carpenter's the trail. Shoes the shot. Reset here. 4 in the shot clock. Carpenter drove. 1 second on the clock. Drew the foul. Not there ever a club man. Making sure the advertising boards are back in the rightful place. Kenny Carpenter will go to the line.
I think you've got to hate that if you're Coach Kapoulis. You've played great defense for so long. You've wound the clock all the way down. You get one drive and you bail them out.
Carpenter shooting just under 70% from the foul strip. It's proven his versatility. Not well when Greg Pryor was out for a bit. He's the chief playmaker. Really that thing you need when you're coming out of college, being able to show that you can play both the guard spots. Showcase for a future career. That one goes as well. Carpenter with 6 points. Deficit at 3. Jordan Nichols rolled here, Dozy. At full speed to the basket, doesn't go Achara. In fact, they're calling that a score. Just wait for confirmation that the score. Yes, it is. Chara shakes his head. To no avail. Pass intercepted, great on the break. Drive through the middle, drops in from Lewis Champion and gets the bonus opportunity. In recent weeks, that Rock's interior defense, when they've been able to clog in the lane, has been such one of their strengths. Bristol today, that quickness, able to get into the lane.
Yeah, I was speaking to a few of the guys midweek, and they were saying that Vincent Lavandier has brought in such a new defensive scheme that the basket is the most important thing to defend. Absolutely. A lot of teams can shoot the three, but they're not all brilliant three-point shooters. Everyone attacks the basket. So that is something that I think Rocks are really focusing on, but Bristol been able to exploit that today.
Of course, the race for the playoffs very much underway, but the big date that everyone looking towards, Sunday the 19th of May at the O2 Arena in London, the BBL and the WBBL playoff finals, and of course an occasion that you really don't want to miss. If you want to be there, make sure you get your tickets now. You can either head to bbl.org.uk/2019 playoffs or access.com and be there for the biggest day out in all of British basketball in just about 6 weeks' time. Who'd have thought it would come round so quickly with the season now reaching its conclusion? And in that playoff race, if you look at the league table just now, between 4th and 10th, you really can't call it at the minute, Johnson, who's going to get in those last 4 or 5 places.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's safe. I saw a few social media posts of people predicting what they thought were going to happen, but no one is safe, no one is guaranteed anything. And it's been a bit of a revelation for the Rocks, however. You know, Gareth Murray said it in an interview a few weeks ago. The season's been bad, but it's not as doom and gloom as people have been making out to be, and he's right. It's turned around so quickly, and I think playoffs really are obviously a realistic opportunity, but how high up they're finishing at the moment is brilliant, but no one is safe. It's such an exciting season.
Well, London, I think it's safe to say, are going 4 points clear at the top tonight as Lewis champion makes that 3-point play. 85-68, they lead the Newcastle Eagles with 5 minutes to play at the Copper Box. Huge significance in that game. Lots at stake here though. Biggest lead of the contest, 5 minutes left in this first half. Carpenter, high arc doesn't go. Murray alert to the opportunity. And it is a foul. Defensive foul is called, which will send Kenny Carpenter to the foul line. Lewis champion picks up his second foul. Tevin Falzon returning in place of Mike Vigor for Bristol Flyers. Carpenter returns to the line. Really alert play there from Gareth Murray. Took the rebound, fed his teammate in the middle. First one is capitalized upon. Carpenter averaging just under 10 points per game. Second one doesn't go. Thomas. Corner play. Three in the shot clock. Adozie from the corner.
Oh.
It falls. Daniel Adozie.
Oh, wow. Rocks will not be happy with that. That is brilliant ball movement. 5 screens on that play alone to get the ball to a driving lane and then the kick out.
Adozie's long two has opened the gap to 9 points in favour of Bristol. Murray inside. Didn't go. Champion. Rebound into the hands. Ali Fraser gives it to Johnny Bunyan. Rocks hard numbers, slow down. Murray. Fake from Fraser, the hook shot goes in. Ali Fraser at 6 points. Yet to miss today. 7 points the gap though still. The Rocks in this second quarter, slightly more fragile defensively than they've been in recent weeks. Well, the flipper somehow, some way went in from Fred Thomas.
Yeah, it's finishes like that make you feel really insecure about your interior defense. If people can finish those kind of tough layups, what chance have you got?
Wipe on the floor. Bristol, they have had that athleticism, and for a lot of the season. There's been games when they've got leads, lost leads, and haven't always been able to be consistent over fourth quarters. And I suppose the positive for them, Friday night, that display against London Lions, they got the lead, up by as much as 21. London came back, but that time able to soak it up. Saying that, poor performance from Lions, of course they'd lost 3 of 4 coming into today. Back in form this afternoon as Carpenter slashes in. 3 to play in the second period. Fouls on the kick out. Thomas from deep. That one doesn't go. Rebound scrapped for it. Johnny Bunyan coming up with it. Greg Pryor. Small athletic lineup for Glasgow at the moment. Bunyan pulls up. Won't fall. Break is on. Thomas from the corner. Won't go. Rebound is in. And the make from Tevin Falzon. He will get the chance to give Bristol Flowers a double-digit lead. Second foul against Greg Pryor as Tanis Rinkunas replaces Johnny Bunyan.
I've lost count of how many soft, cheap and ones Glasgow have given away in this quarter alone. Unbelievable.
Falls in. Converts a three-point play. For the first time in this contest, the lead is at 10. Carter looked at Fraser, just got it. Goes off the glass, step back, Ali Fraser. Rocks within 8, Fraser. 4 of 4 from the field today. Champion. Blocked by Carpenter. Pryor with a chance to break. Rinkunas to his right. Drops it in. Tadas Rinkunas. First score of the game. And Andreas Kapoulis calls a timeout for Bristol Flyers, whose advantage is down to 6. And really for Bristol, again, if you come off a game like you played on Friday, you're travelling away 2 days later, you got to think there is going to be ebbs and flows in your energy levels and how you manage that. And that's where you need those rotations to come in and out, just for players to catch a breath when they can.
Yeah, absolutely. When you come off such a high of Friday night and then the drive up here, it's a long journey, and that is where you, as a team, you learn how good and how much you trust your bench. You learn as a coach what you can get out of your bench. You learn so much about your team that you didn't know. It's where everyone grows as players and as chemistry-wise. Where the bench players get their opportunity to earn their minutes and earn more minutes. They're so important to the team that these journeys will always be a negative but are always a positive at the same time.
Of course, we said earlier at the start that head-to-heads on the line today. Bristol, this is the last head-to-head that really matters to them to be resolved today. They've clinched the season series over Plymouth, and Cheshire and Sheffield don't have the head-to-heads against London City Royals. Critically, Manchester as well didn't get that head-to-head. The Rocks so far in that mid-table group only have head-to-heads over the Phoenix and the Giants. Lost out to Plymouth, lost out to Sheffield. Of course, this game today and that trip down to London City Royals on the 20th of the month could be very significant indeed when you come to that final rankings. Into the final 90 seconds of this first half. Tevin Falson out to the wing to Fred Thomas. Step back, doesn't go. Pryor. Fraser with the screen. Has the room, has the time. Doesn't have the accuracy though. Thomas goes solo, drops it in. Kunis pressurised into the corner. Pressurised into a poor pass as well. Jordan Nichols will return for Bristol Flyers. As will Panos Mayundombe. 3 in the shot clock for Glasgow. Bunyan will inbound. Well, somehow in the middle of all that, Ali Fraser wide open in the middle. And a switch off somewhere in Bristol Flyers defence.
Well, there's Glasgow using Bristol's medicine against them. A good screen, a good solid screen gets a man wide open.
4-second differential game clock, shot clock here. As Mayundombe drives, won't fall. 12 seconds remain. Bunyan drove inside, will go back out. Rinkunis buries a 3 and brings this first half to a close with the Rocks within 3 points. And it's gone back and forth, and not just sometimes that psychological blow. The Rocks trail, but a strong finish.
Yeah, absolutely. I was just thinking in the last possession there, 3 right now would completely change the game. You know, what was a 10-point lead is back down to 3. That changes totally what Coach Kapoulis is going to do in his half-time and what Coach Lavandier is going to do in his half-time talks. That will be a brilliant confidence booster and momentum shift for the Rocks, and Bristol will be on edge now about it.
Well, the game tally there, Ali Fraser leading Glasgow Rocks with 10 points, a perfect 5 of 5 in the field, and Fred Thomas with 10 to lead Bristol Flyers. At the end of the first half here in the BBL Championship, it is Bristol Flyers leading Glasgow Rocks 40-37. The Emirates Arena, it's the BBL Championship, it's a Sunday afternoon, and at the start of the third quarter, it is the Bristol Flyers leading the Radisson Red Glasgow Rocks by 40-37. Grabbing a quick word there from Flyers coach Andreas Kapoulis. He said the main thing at halftime, telling his team, making sure they keep their defense solid, getting rebounds that will enable them to get back out in transition, get their running game going in that second half. Of course, first half they led by as much as 10, but it was pulled back towards the end of the first quarter, or end of the first half. As for the Rocks, I asked Kieran Achara, what's your biggest thing in the second half? And he said one word: defense. Need to do that better. Jonathan McLeod's alongside me. The Rocks defensively haven't quite looked as sharp as they've been in recent weeks. No,
there's been a few lapses of concentration, especially in the interior defense and the inside. They've been picked apart by Coach Kapoulis' brilliant offense. He uses so many screens. It's just been tearing Glasgow apart. Offensively for Glasgow, you know, they've got to get their big guys, Ali Fraser, involved more. He's perfect so far. I mean, you see it there in offense. A brilliant screen down low gets a man open, but they do need to use Ali Fraser more. He's been fantastic so far, as well as Greg Pryor and Kenny Carpenter. But defensively, they've got to turn it on. It's got to be much better this half.
The Rocks within 1 with that opening score. A hook shot there from Tevin Falson, doesn't fall. Taras Rinkunis, as he has done recently, starting the second half for Glasgow. Rocks without Buna Njai today. Bristol without Jalen McLeod. And Bo Ziegler puts the Rocks back in front.
Yeah, I think Buna being out is Buna Njai being out is a big piece of their offense that's missing. You know, he's one of their leading scorers. He's that extra slasher coming from the wing to the basket as well. Someone they'll miss. Someone that they are missing, really.
Step back, falling short from Justin Gray. And to tell you that other game in the BBL Championship, the clash at the top two, no contest really. London Lions, a big step closer to the title after a 101-81 victory over Newcastle Eagles. Darius Tabb, 32 points, 14 rebounds. Tadas Rinkunis, 3 once more, 16-2 run at either side of half-time for Glasgow Rocks. And Bristol Flyers coach Andreas Kapoulis immediately calling a time out. Because elsewhere in the league this weekend, I think the game everyone's talking about, one of the greatest games certainly I've seen in BBL history, the Worcester Wolves Surrey Scorchers, 4 overtime periods it took to separate them before the Wolves winning 1-5-2-1-50. Highest scoring game in league history. And what an astonishing game it was on Friday night down at Worcester. Elsewhere on Friday night, Flowers, of course, as we said, beat the Lions. Newcastle beating Manchester Giants 102-85. Leicester Riders, big win for them, 86-78 over London City Royals. And a huge victory for Plymouth Raiders, still chasing that playoff spot. 85-56 result at Sheffield Sharks. And then last night, the London City Royals beating this understandably fatigued Worcester Wolves 91-78. And this afternoon, one other game underway as well. Cheshire Phoenix playing Leicester Riders, and Phoenix 45-40 ahead of Riders. 2:45 to go in the second period. We should also congratulate Sevenoaks Suns, who won the women's BBL title this weekend. Beat Sheffield Hatters yesterday. 19-0 record this season, second successive title for them, and a great season for Len Bush's team. BBL points up for grabs here. Out of that timeout, much work for Bristol to do, wrestle back the momentum. 7-0 start to this third quarter for the hosts. Inbound in the end line. Lewis champion. Well, it's almost snuck it back into play there. Kind of come off. Will be a sideline ball rather than an end line ball this chance. Justin Gray will inbound. 5 on the shot clock. Step back from Falzon, full short.
Yeah, you spoke about the good start to the third quarter. That's something has really turned around under Coach Lavendier. You know, before the third quarter was always an area of concern. It's where a good lead would become a deficit, and it's where the game would change. But it's something for the Rocks now. Glasgow's really worked on it, and they come out of the gate strong, and it's where they can pull away from teams.
Carpenter in the wing. On a Pryor. Chara. Backing down a Dozy. Step back. Off the mark. Dozy waits for the handoff. Falzon. Guarded by Ziegler. Handoff to Lewis Champion. Falzon almost lost it. 4 in the shot clock, forced to take it. Gets his own rebound, drives inside. Swat from Achara. Foul is called though. Second foul against Bo Ziegler. Falzon to the foul line.
Obviously the foul there on Bo Ziegler, but you see the block from Achara coming across. The new help defensive scheme that the new coach has implemented, and it's something that the guys are enjoying as part of the team. It's brought them success, certainly.
Falzon, second one to the line. Comes the second season in the BBL's really doubled his stats from Cheshire last year, makes the second. First score of this second half. Bristol Flowers. Deficit back to 3. Carpenter goes to Ziegler in the post. Accelerates inside, lost it though. Comes into the hands of Tevin Falzon on the break. Falzon stuffs it in. Gapped onto 1. Pressure there in the backcourt paying off. That momentum just knocked off by the Flyers. Carpenter from the side, short in that attempt. Falzon with the board. Drove into traffic there, and it is a travel indeed. Rocks defense standing firm.
Something that amazes me about Vincent Lavandier is how calm he is at all times. You know, they're down by 10, calm. They're up by 4, calm. It's a 1-point game, and he's remaining calm. That brings such confidence to your players when your coach is calm and controlled and not flustered in the situation.
BBL's Coach of the Month for March. That 6-1 record the Rocks compiled in his first month in charge. Dozy in the middle, nowhere to go. Back out to Fred Thomas. They go to Falzon. Guarded by Rinkunas. Travel is forced. Falzon. That look of disbelief.
So a couple of times tonight he's been a wee bit unsteady on his feet. There's a few times he's been pivoting that haven't looked completely clean.
Gareth Murray replaces Bo Ziegler for Glasgow. 5:59 remains in this third quarter. Carpenter. Murray has a little room, accelerates into the middle, stopped in his tracks. Flowers ball. Chara tried to force the contact. Not quite though. Falzon will give it inbound to Fred Thomas, playing much more as a playmaker this evening in the absence of Jalen McLeod. Dozy to Champion. Build a pass inside. Dozy can't quite finish. Jump ball is called. Possession are in favour of Bristol Flyers.
A few passes tonight I've seen from the Bristol guards that have been absolute bullets towards the basket. Fantastic passing skills on show.
Got to finish them though. Couldn't quite manage it there. Will be an end-line ball though. Lewis Champion will inbound. Mike Vigor checking in now ahead of that to replace Tevin Falzon. It's just 2 points and 3 rebounds short of a double-double here this evening. Wipe on the floor. 14 shot clock. Dozy. Well, Chara, feet set. Created that offensive foul. Went down quite hard though. Dozy checks he's okay. Chara back up.
Yeah, I think he knew straight away he was going to get called for a foul, and that his hand was straight up. He was apologising as soon as the whistle came.
Third foul against Daniel Odozie.
Just a special announcement as well. Special anniversary. Happy Ruby anniversary to Jim and Irene Reed. Happy anniversary, Jim and Irene.
Pryor. Guarded by Champion, goes back and forth. Perimeter ball movement from Glasgow. The hallmark of the Lavandier era. Rinkunas swing inside of Chara, couldn't hold it. Intent was good. Andreas Kapoulis there on the sideline. Really the thing he's talking about ahead of this game is just at this stage of the season, how few secrets are left for coaches. You can make small tweaks here and there, but your team should know what they're doing. And you've got a pretty good idea what your opponents are doing. Dozy from way out, way short. This was the one advantage for the Rocks. And they are, with that late coaching change, the one team that has probably still got a few secrets in their locker at this point in the campaign.
Yeah, I was just going to say it there. They are. I think the scouting reports on them are going to be ruined now. A lot of coaches don't know what Lavandier is going to bring out. A lot of the players are still also confused what he's going to bring out.
Murray from the corner, short. Chara saved it in. Rinkunas turns it over. Break is on the throw line from Fred Thomas. And Bristol.
Ooh, he's picked a wee niggle on the knee there. A wee stumble afterwards. Hope he's all right.
5 straight points for Bristol Flyers, restores their advantage. As Marcus Delpeche checks back in place of Daniel Edozie. Thomas declaring himself fit to continue.
Yeah, but as an opposition coach, how do you game plan for Glasgow Rocks now? You've only had, what, 7 games under the new coach. You can't really see a lot in that time. They know exactly what you're going to be doing. That has to be a head sore for coaches now.
Kunis won't fall. Well, I suppose it's where you find out who can coach, who can scout, who prepares their teams better and who doesn't. Bully ball under the basket from Marcus Delpeche doesn't go. Swing pass to Kunis from Murray. Oh, Carpenter open from the corner, knocks it in. 3 points for Kenny Carpenter. 12 points in the game, equals the game high. Rocks back in front.
Beautiful pass right onto the wing. Finds his man wide open in the corner. The defensive lapse, not covering the corner. Fantastic.
Vigor bounced off Murray. Floater doesn't go, rebound. Duly put back in by Marcus Delpeche. Level we are once more. Less than 3 to play in the third quarter. Kunis. Swing back to Achara on the elbow. Second thought about it. Makes it. Kieran Achara. 8 points, 7 rebounds. Rocks advantage once more. Vigor with the step back, knocks it in. 7 points for Vigor. Kunis. Hand off to Pryor. Kunis was leading the BBL in field goal percentage. 6 in the shot clock. Murray, well, short in that one. Thomas accelerates. Off the glass, makes it. Fred Thomas, 14 points in the game. Vincent Levandier calls a timeout with Bristol Flyers back in front once more. Well, it's half time now down at the Oaks Arena. And Leicester Riders trailing Bristol Phoenix 50-49. And Roman Latinovic, game high, 16 points for Cheshire this afternoon. And of course there, you see on screen, not that long now to the British Basketball Playoff Finals. Brought to you by Benecos this year, the end of season finale, Sunday the 19th of May at London's O2 Arena. A massive day out with the playoff finals for both the BBL and the WBBL. And if you want to get there, get your tickets now at axis.com. And of course, already announced the 3rd edition of the British Basketball All-Star Championship, Sunday the 13th of October at the Copper Box Arena. You can get your tickets now, and full information at allstarsbasketball.co.uk. Just under 2 minutes left here in the third period. Head-to-head on the line in the matchup between these two this season. The Rocks looking for that club record, 9 consecutive home wins. If they can pull this off, Flyers hoping to ensure they are not the team that allows them to do so. Fraser back in. Pass out to Carpenter. Ball movement again. Rinkunas open. Long in that attempt. Jordan Nichols picks up the board. Delpeche backs down. Ali Fraser does just enough to upset the shot. Carpenter shoots. Doesn't score. Thomas pulls up for 3. Ziegler board. Carpenter ran into traffic. Thomas almost got the steal, knocked it out of bounds.
Boys and girls participating in the Rockettes Encore Dance
Justin
Experience.
Gray
Boys and
returning for
girls
Bristol.
dancing with the Rockettes for the Encore Dance Experience. Make your way down towards the Rockettes now, please.
It was off camera, you couldn't see it on your screen there, but Coach Lavendiere is absolutely grilling his guys. There's absolutely nothing wrong. Apart from the outlet pass, he expects perfection off them everywhere, which has obviously proved to be successful and brought them this winning streak, but everything can be improved.
Fraser twisted and turned. Mike Vigor, a tower of strength in the middle for Bristol. Less than a minute to play now in this third period. Can Flowers extend? Can the Rocks draw level? Gray accelerated. Not quite there. Defense from Ali Fraser stands up. Foul is called on that break. I think Vincent Lavandier thought it should be an unsportsmanlike. Not the call though. That's Bo Ziegler. Will inbound. First foul going against Mike Vigor. Less than a second differential between game clock and shot clock here. Rocks with a chance to draw a level, maybe go ahead. Fraser in the post. Spilt it, just got it back in time. Pryor drives through the middle, the floater knocked away. Justin Gray with the block. 5.3 seconds. Pryor will have to take this from deep. Doesn't go. And at the end of the third period, it's all to play for so far in the BBL Championship. With 1 quarter to play here at the Emirates Arena, it is Bristol Flowers leading Glasgow Rocks 51-49. To begin in the BBL Championship this afternoon, that is the Radisson Red Glasgow Rocks trailing the Bristol Flowers 51-49. Fred Thomas leading all scores, game high 14 points. Kenny Carpenter leading Glasgow with 12. And league positions, incredibly important league points in that race for the Benacos playoffs on the line here over the next 10 minutes. Tadas Rinkunis to Fraser. Four in the shot clock. Pryor opts for the step back, doesn't go. Knocked out of bounds as Tevin Falzon tried to grab the board. Pryor will inbound, shot clock reset to 14. Jordan Nichols in his way. Kunis, double team came. Fraser on the wing, passes to Carpenter, baits everyone else, drops it in. We are level, 51 apiece. 14 points for Carpenter. Slash to the basket from Justin Gray is repelled.
Foul on the shot.
Foul called. A third foul against Bo Ziegler. Judged a shooting foul.
I think the block up high was clean. It must have just been a hand on the hip for the hand check.
Justin Gray, who's had a weekend to remember, his Texas Tech last night, reaching the final of March Madness, the NCAA Championship. Play tomorrow night against the University of Virginia. I imagine that's what he'll be doing with his Monday night, early Tuesday morning. I'm sure he'll be rooting for his old college to get a win then. A win today would make it a nice warm-up. Flowers back in front. Ndombe, double team comes, manages to get it away. Nichols looks inside, finds Delpeche. 4 points the gap now. Bristol lead. Back and forth again. Pryor goes cross court to Carpenter. Has room, has time, has accuracy. Kenny Carpenter brings the Rocks within one. Carpenter 6 of 10 from the field today. Second three-pointer.
Carpenter really has found his confidence again.
Gray with the miss.
Under
will take the three. Won't fall. Carpenter confident. Not that time though. Kieran Chara, Gareth Murray placing Tadas Rinkunas and Ali Fraser. Fred Thomas, Lewis Champion, returning in place of Panas Mayandombi and Jordan Nichols for Bristol. Carpenter gives it off to Pryor, had some room in the middle, took the floater off the glass. It's almost like he was passing to himself under pressure, makes it in traffic. Greg Pryor, 7 points in the game. Rocks retake the advantage once again. Champion gives it to Falzon. No one out to challenge him in that instance, didn't matter. Pryor takes the three. Not into his hands. Fred Thomas.
Yeah, Rocks relying a lot more on the three-point shot now. 17 in total for the game.
Delpeche open in the middle. Great feed. Of course, Delpeche's brother, Malcolm, playing over in the German league this year. Playing for Münster, top of Germany's Pro B. Having a great year over there. Foul drawn. Kieran Chara walks over for a chat with Vincent Lavandier, captain to coach. Delpeche with his first foul. Greg Pryor to the line. Mike Vigor returns for Bristol Flyers. Pryor. Well, he's shooting less than 70% from the foul strip this season. His first attempt today. Glasgow 7 of 11 from the foul line. Makes the second. Even Stevens. 6.5 minutes to go. Gripping encounter here this afternoon at the Emirates. Vigor. Skip inside from Champion, couldn't convert. Eventually into the hands of Mike Vigor. Cross court Champion. Shoot the corner three, instead it goes out. Justin Gray from deep.
Yeah, that's brilliant ball movement from Bristol. This moves the whole Rocks defense all around the floor. Goes right to the corner, they have to recover up top and they can't recover in time.
Pryor, Harang somehow got free of that. Stripped away though, Bristol. The break is on. Foul before Fred Thomas could get to the basket. No easy scores. Not when there's so little to choose between the teams. And a timeout is called by Rocks coach Vincent Lavandier. That's second foul. fact, that judges an offensive foul against Fred Thomas. And really, with 5 minutes, 50 seconds to play, you think now it's about who gets the most defensive stops in this game, because the execution there, is so evenly matched today.
Yeah, absolutely. Rocks have looked a wee bit icy, you know, on the interior. Too many times they've been split wide open right at the basket. Turnovers as well on offensive Rocks are becoming an issue. They're going to have to tighten everything up. So defensively, they all need to switch on, need to fill the lane, because that's where the majority of the Bristol offense is coming from. It's inside the key. So that's what they need to fill up. And not have such sloppy passes. You know, they're passing through 3, 4, possibly even all the passing lanes at one time. Long skip passes that aren't making it. Get back to basics and things will be fine. You know, you've turned a 10-point deficit around. You're down by 3 again. It's crunch time.
These two teams today have really gone inside. You look at 3-point percentage. Rocks 5 of 18. Bristol 4 of 14. It has been a tough physical contest. A real war in the paint. In fact, they have corrected that. We did think it was a strange call. Second foul ahead of that against Kenny Carpenter. Now the team yet in the bonus. Bristol to inbound from the sideline. Justin Gray will get us in. Vigor, top of the key. Back to Gray. Step back. Fouled as he went up. Those are the fouls that frustrate.
I thought he'd done a great job to stay. You know, he had the crossover that got him. I think he had a great job to recover. He just overextended a bit too much. But we spoke about Bristol's offense coming inside the paint. 2/3 of their offense to be inside the paint. That's where Rocks have to focus.
Justin Gray, 3 of 4 from the foul strip today. Takes his own scoring tally into double figures. Looks for the second. Lead extended again, back to 5 points. It's been what you'd call a good old tactical battle this afternoon. Scrappy game. Exciting to watch, exciting finale in prospect here. Pryor needs someone to come. Gets it in the form of Bo Ziegler, drove inside. Took the foul as he went in. I think that will go against Lewis Champion. He'll pick up his 3rd foul as Talis Rinkunas replaces Kenny Carpenter for Glasgow Rocks. Ziegler to the line. It's 2 of 4 this afternoon. Previous 2 trips has missed the first and got the second. Will he continue it now?
Both would be good, of course, as always.
Oh, there you go. Change of tack makes the first. And the second. Critical free throws. Bo Ziegler now with 8 points in the game. 3 points the gap. 5 minutes remain in the 4th quarter. Gray waves it off, goes to Vigor, lets fly from 3-point line, banks it off the glass. Mike Vigor, 10 points in the game now, 4 of 6 shooting.
That half break he took at the start of the season's done him well. He's worked in his shooting tremendously. He's got great touch now.
Kunis look for a Chara just out of his way. Vigor the bailout, the last touch. Eight seconds remain on the shot clock. Kunis off balance, off target. Solid defensive stand from Bristol Flyers. Ali Fraser replaces Kieran Achara.
Yeah, 6-point game now. The defense has to make sure that they're covering inside and out. You know, the perimeter has been a source of success now for Bristol, as well as the interior as always.
Great. Skips around. Talis Rinkunas can't convert though. Pryor, nowhere to go. Needs someone to help. Champion knocked it out of bounds. Bristol forcing Glasgow into late shot clock shots here, which is what you want as a coach. As Andreas Kapula sits on the sidelines, watches Rinkunas. Had to flip
There
it up
you go.
somehow. Tadas Rinkunas. 10 points for the Lithuanian. Rocks within 4.
Absolutely needed a score there. The momentum was shifting far too much. Too many defensive stops for Bristol. The score keeps them in the game.
Fred Thomas got round Gareth Murray. 1 second and the shot clock remained. Fred Thomas with 16 points in the game. 6 points the gap. Ziegler in the paint. Floater doesn't go, gets his own rebound. Hook shot, gets it. Bo Ziegler with 10 points. 4 points the gap. 3 to play. Pryor went for the steal.
Fantastic job by Greg Pryor there, putting the pressure on the offense and the ball handler, forcing the 8 seconds.
Clever play there, call from referee Hayden Jones. Daniel Adozi returns to the fray. Marcus Delpesh gives way. Fraser running interference for Pryor. No backcourt violation, touching Bristol. Murray, 2 in the shot clock, went for the bank shot. No baskets. And yet again, Flyers defense standing tall, standing firm. Flyers once more an opportunity to extend the advantage. Led by 10 in that first half. Try to extend now. Will be a Rocks ball though.
Yeah, Glasgow have to do a much better job of getting into their offense a lot earlier, getting a scoring opportunity a lot earlier before this 24-second violation becomes an issue.
Well, Vincent Lavandier has really lent on those 2 players who have played for him before. Gareth Murray, Greg Pryor, to explain his philosophy. In this first month of his tenure, they've been really his interpreters, probably more ways than one.
They were both excited when he was coming. They both know the pedigree he has. It's a great move for Rocks, I think.
Fraser in the paint. 5 on the shot clock. Once again, late shot clock. Murray, looping score shot, doesn't go. Pryor can take it again. Well, perhaps more patience required there. I think he knew it from the body language on the court. Into the final 2 minutes. All to play for. What a big win this would be. What a big weekend it would be for Bristol if they can hold on. Cut inside from Gray. Gets it. And we'll go to the line.
That's just too strong from Bristol. Brilliant cut coming in from the high post all the way to the basket. There's just so many and ones Glasgow have given away.
Fourth foul against Bo Ziegler. Great. Born in the US Virgin Islands. Schooled in Florida. Misses that one. Rocks cannot get the rebound though. Bristol. Chance here for Thomas. 3 in the shot clock. Long effort into the hands of Edozie. Shot clock violation though. Rocks still alive. Just 75 seconds remain. That other game in the BBL today. Leicester now 72-64 lead over Cheshire Phoenix. 1 minute to play in the third quarter. Huge consequences there for Leicester and for Cheshire. The floater from Ziegler drops in. Rocks within 4. 1 minute to go. Crowds here on their feet.
Oh,
Murray with a steal, vital takeaway. Bristol get back defensively. Ziegler lost it in the post as he went up, stripped from Edozie. Huge defensive play. This champion looks over to Andreas Kapoulis. Lost it again. Pryor on the break. Under pressure.
Oh,
an unsportsmanlike foul is called against Mike Vigor as he went for the block there. And that will send Greg Pryor to line. Lewis Vigor went down. And Mike Vigor, pardon me, went down like a ton of bricks there. Second foul against him. Well, that for me was a tough call from the refs. He went for the block, and he is a physically strong character.
Yeah, there must have been something on their angle that we can't see from this side. These are all very experienced referees.
Pryor makes the first 3 points, the gap. 24.2 seconds remain.
Who doesn't love a little bit of excitement on a Sunday evening?
Any evening. Oh, big in excitement. Excitement works for me. Pryor, 10 points in the game. Nerve of steel and possession for Glasgow here.
2-point game. Do you hold for the last shot? Well, you've got slightly over the shot. Nah, you've got far too long over the shot clock. New shot clock rules gives you only 14 now.
Murray
You need to score.
gives it to Pryor. 4 in the shot clock. Harangued, harassed.
Oh,
Up to
there
the
you
challenge.
go.
What a score from Greg Pryor. We are level with 10.8 seconds remaining. Ice cold response from Greg Pryor. And the fans here loving that one. What a play there.
What a shot. Falling away from the basket. Chucks up a Hail Mary, a last-ditch attempt. Oh.
And you think there defensively, the pressure was on him. Bristol really did not much wrong there. Just got enough room. Just got enough gap to make that shot.
Brilliant defense, just better offense. I think Rocks got away with one because you're right, Bristol did a fantastic job. They had the pressure on everywhere, they switched everywhere, everyone was getting straight to their man, no one was open. And GP, Greg Pryor, does a great job. Shooters shoot. He's got the clutch gene, as people say in many different leagues.
Well, what a play, what a sets it up. Rocks next game away on Friday night down at Leicester Riders. Maybe a chance for Leicester for some revenge for their heavy loss here last Sunday. Next Sunday, the Rocks hosting Cheshire Phoenix. Massive game for both these teams, or those teams, in terms of the playoffs. Bristol away at London Lions on Friday night. Another revenge mission
Double
in
timeout.
place there. Double timeout is called. A big revenge mission there, perhaps, for London Lions. Of course, boosted by their huge win over at Newcastle Eagles today. And a huge home game for the Flyers next Saturday night at the Wise Arena. Manchester Giants, the visitors then. And a game that, again, will once more tilt the balance perhaps in that playoff race, as both those teams try to make sure they end up inside the cut for the top 8 when the British Basketball League season concludes in just a couple of weeks' time. For my money, the most exciting playoff race, league race that we've had in a number of years. Even those bottom 2, Surrey and Worcester, capable of beating anyone in the league in their day, and capable of scoring a lot of points, as we saw on Friday night. Another kind of contest tonight. Could we end up with 4 overtimes? Who knows? Anything's possible after watching that on Friday. You never know how it's going to go.
4 overtimes, because do you think we could end up at the same scoreline as they did?
Well, they were much ahead on that on the scoring rate. I'm not sure we're going to end up with a 302 combined points here this evening. 10.8 seconds remain. Level playing field. Bristol inbound. Vigor put us in. Slash to the basket. Justin, great block from Achara. Edozie, desperation heave. Doesn't go. Pryor, can he take a shot to the win? Oh. Doesn't go. Overtime. 69-69 at the end of the 4th quarter. And Kieran Achara, massive defensive play there.
Absolutely fantastic job coming across in the help defense. He does brilliantly to get across and block the shot. Bristol didn't stand a chance coming up to the basket. Fantastic defensive stance from the whole team.
Well, what a game it's been. What excitement, what drama we've got here this afternoon. It is the Radisson Red Glasgow Rocks 69, the Bristol Flyers 69. 4 quarters, 40 minutes has not separated these two. We go to overtime. Bristol and Red will get us underway. Just get it inside. Fred Thomas has a team high 16 points for the Flyers. Jordan Nichols is open, pulls the trigger, short in that attempt. Rinkunas rebound. Greg Pryor. Last 4 points of regulation for the Rocks. Massive play. Achara from deep to 3. Kieran Achara coming up huge. The block at the end of regulation. Now 11 points, 7 rebounds.
Kieran clutch Achara, the brilliant up screen coming. Gets him wide open on the 3-point line.
Off balance. Fred Thomas doesn't go. Flyers ball on the end line. Achara, for someone who's heading towards retirement, is certainly not putting his slippers on early. Jordan Nichols will inbound. Steal from Bo Ziegler. Rocks opt for patience, for calm. Pryor off the screen, gets room. Wraparound pass didn't quite go. And it will be a Bristol ball. Hustle comes.
Greg Pryor has been absolutely everywhere in defense tonight. His full court hustle has been immense for Rocks. The energy he brings is insane. I said it at the start of the season, just the energy he brings to the team is ridiculous. He had that slump in the mid-season, and now he's a big part of why we're in overtime.
14 left in the shot clock. Fred Thomas guarded by Ziegler. Volume turned up to the max here. Edozie gives it to Mayandombi. Buries it. 2 in the shot clock. Calmness there from Panis Mayandombi. 1 point the gap. 1 point the lead for Glasgow. Murray knocked out of his hands. Rocks will recover. Andreas Kapoulis on the sideline urging Bristol onwards. Kunis built it past Achara. Dozie went for the block instead. Committed the foul. Achara, I guess the one player you don't want to go to the line if you're Bristol Flyers. 4th foul against Dozie.
The fantastic curl cut from the corner over the high post. You know, Kieran runs it beautifully. Kieran Achara does run that absolutely beautifully.
Achara 2 of 2 from the foul line. Now 3 of 3. Just 3 rebounds short of a double-double. Steadies himself once more. Crucial plays, crucial makes. 13 points for Kieran Achara. How much would he love to end up in that Benacos playoff final? Dozie, the handoff. Mayandombi, same place, same make. 4 quick points in overtime. 1 point the difference. Calmness and Vincent Levandier on the sideline for Glasgow. Ziegler, all muscle, gets the fall. Bo Ziegler, 14 points. Rocks just keeping Bristol at play. Vigor. Hand off to Mayandombi. The handoff inside. Daniel Edozie, all composure. 4 of 6 from the field today for his 8 points. 2 minutes to play in overtime. The first period of overtime. 10 on the shot clock. Kunis sets up the play. Achara runs interference. Lofty finish. Achara doesn't go. Justin Gray in his way. Bristol chance to lead. Vigor takes the 3. Short in that attempt. Murray gets the rebound. Foul is called.
Fantastic job by Greg Pryor, turning on the speed boosters and to force his man into the foul.
Second foul against Panis Mayandombi. Pryor 3 of 4 from the foul line today. Pryor makes it. And again, the lead stretched once more. kick out. Mandomi steps back, off balance, 3-3 in the shot clock. What a play! And we are level. 1 minute exactly to go.
What a pump fake that was. Heroics from Bristol.
Chara, kick out to Murray. Inside, doesn't go. Vigor. Dozy had plenty of room. Bristol holding. 10 on the shot clock. Mandomi, who's been superb in overtime. Fitu, Dozy in the post, doesn't fall.
Absolutely fantastic defensive stance from Achara again.
10 seconds remain. First period of overtime. Pryor, is it the dagger? Short. And we go in to the second period of overtime. What a contest it's been. Clutch performances from both teams here. And it's just been a contest where we joked about could it go to 4 overtimes. Who'd be surprised just now? Neither team giving an inch here.
Yeah, absolutely. Both teams are going at it. Both teams want it. They know how important it is to their season. 4 overtimes might be a reality. But Kieran Achara again with a brilliant defensive stance. He's been so clutch on defense. He plays such clean defense, hands up, fantastic stance. The help defense comes right across. I cannot credit him enough. He has kept him in the game. Offensively, Greg Pryor's doing a great job facilitating and being aggressive and finding his shot on his own points. They're attacking the basket hard. Bristol are putting on a great show to defend their own basket. This is a great advert for British basketball and for defensive style of basketball as well.
Well, if you like big overtimes, this is the weekend for it. The other game going on, it might even finish before this one. Well, it could go to overtime as well. Leicester Riders, 4 minutes to play, leading Cheshire Phoenix 85 to 84. And of course, with London Lions beating Newcastle earlier this afternoon, that will be enough to move Leicester equal with Newcastle Eagles in second place. If the Riders can win that one. Cheshire very eager for that win to solidify their place in that top 8. But here, it's about survival, it's about hanging on, it's about fighting through the fatigue, it's about continuing to execute. And it's about continuing to give us the entertainment that both these teams have given us. 45 minutes has not separated us thus far. Second period of overtime, Glasgow 78, Bristol 78. Murray to Rinkunas into the post. Bo Ziegler backs down Mike Vigor, gets round and gets a score. Bo Ziegler, 16 points. 6 of 12 shooting. First blood in the second period of overtime. As Kieran Achara ties his shoelace and holds us up. Underway we go again. Panas Mayandombe, who has been clutch in OT. Dozy, a handoff to Justin Gray. Into Achara, offensive foul is called. Justin Gray picks up his third foul. Well, I don't know if that's an injury for Justin Gray or if it's cramp. But you can't argue that these two teams haven't put their bodies on the line here. It's been a bruising, physical contest. And so much of the scoring inside today. Rocks 42 of their 80 points in the paint. Bristol 46. As the floor is wiped, Gareth Murray will let Greg Pryor set up this offense. Murray hands it to Rinkunas. Feed inside to Ziegler. Kick out to Achara. Fake to three, went inside. Jumper makes it. Kieran Achara, 15 points.
Clutch again. He takes a charge in the defensive end. And the pump fake and the pull up underneath the 3-point line. Just beautiful.
Daniel Edozie fouled as he went up. Feeding Murray. Picks up his first foul of the game. Rock's not yet in the bonus. Tevin Falson replacing Mike Vigor.
Oh, actually that foul's on Greg Pryor. So that puts him on 3 for the game.
A bit of interference there from Gareth Murray trying to claim the foul.
It's a smart move, knowing his teammates on more.
Dozy. Oh, he's making a career high 73% from the field this year. His best year as a pro, or is it from his time in college? Brings the Bristol Flyers within 2 points. Murray. Kunis. Slash inside, come all the way through, intercepted. Fred Thomas. Well, the pass was pretty telegraphed, but he was there. Chance to level. Jumper, top of the key, makes it. We are level again. 3:20 to play, 82 apiece.
Neither team is able to pull away. Offenses are producing both ends.
Pryor under pressure as he drew the foul. Pryor back to the line once more. The amount of times this floor has been wiped this afternoon, I think, suggests something about the effort that's been expended by both these teams. Hope you're enjoying it, watching this as much as we are.
Absolutely. You see a few players off by their bench just now, starting to cramp up a wee bit, trying to stretch off.
Pryor 5 of 6 from the line.
Good job, thank you. 3 minutes and 11 at the second overtime clock. Pryor at the line.
Pryor really today from the field hasn't shot that well. 1 of 8 from 3-point range, but from the foul line, and when it's really counted, nerves of steel. The Rocks lead once more. Lead by 2.
Back on the defense.
Now you see there Vincent Lavande, hands on hips.
Oh.
Unsportsmanlike foul was called as he drove to the basket there.
Yeah,
First foul against Gareth Murray.
just a silly foul from Gareth Murray there. Pulls him down. Absolutely no attempt on the ball.
Are important. Could that play be? Well, I guess it'll depend whether Fred Thomas could convert from the line. Thomas, 1 of 2 from the foul strip this afternoon. Steadies himself, misses the first. Game high, equal game high, 18 points for the American. Game high, 19 points now. 1 point deficit for Bristol. They do have possession though. 3 minutes, 2 seconds left in the second period of overtime. fouls on. Hand off to Mayandombe. Drive to the basket, doesn't go. Rocks exhale just prior. Achara wants it. Achara, Doug Murray in the corner, blocked. What an alertness there from Fred Thomas to get across.
Well, this shows you the effort that both teams are putting on defense. The recover and getting up and blocking the three.
Yeah, when you consider Bristol played less than 48 hours ago. Superhuman efforts. Super contest. Rinkunas on the wing. The long arms of Edozie in his way. Pryor, 2 in the shot clock, needs to take it. Off balance, doesn't go. Thomas with the rebound. Flyers, can they soar into the lead once again? Edozie, well, passed up a fairly open shot. Falzon sets the screen, instead they go in the corner. Edozie, well, maybe not the shot you wanted off that offense. Rocks with a chance to extend their advantage. Pryor drives in the lane, takes for the short pull-up, doesn't go. Edozie with the boards. 2 offenses in a row, there's no score. Fred Thomas. Chara in his way. Justin Gray, short. Mayandombe, new shot clock, back to 14. Into the final 90 seconds. Fred Thomas, clutch 3.
A huge 3 for Bristol.
Flyers back in front. Pryor under pressure. Draws the foul. Will go back to the line. Will need to make 2.
You saw the play call from Coach Kapoulis there for Fred Thomas. He's calling an isolation because he knows Fred Thomas is that wee bit quicker than Kieran Achara. Put him on his back pins and you've got him. The step back 3 is too clutch for Bristol.
Daniel Edozie fouls out, 10 points, 4 rebounds. Placed by Marcus Delpesh. 1 minute, 15 seconds. Second period of overtime. Greg Pryor. 5 of 6 from the foul line. 6 of 7. 1 point. The Rocks deficit. Inhales, seizes up, eyes it up, makes it. Greg Pryor, 16 points. Level once again. Kenny Carpenter replaces Gareth Murray. Fred Thomas goes to Falzon. Falzon. Backs down Ziegler. Back out to Fred Thomas. 5 in the shot clock. Needs to take it. Doesn't go. Rebound. Delpesh. Chara scrambles for it. Just out of bounds. More substitutions. Murray back in for Carpenter. Every possession now a different tactic. Defense required. Murray the man. 11 on the shot clock, 47.8 seconds remain. Chara's sweat on the floor. Blood and tears given today.
That last possession and the rebound on the box out would be a brilliant place to have had Ali Fraser, who's been sitting down for quite a while.
The long three, off target from Fred Thomas. Pryor on the break. Took time, short. Short once again. What is the call? The refs will confer. Hayden Jones and Marion Dodds chatting there, you can see. This call so critical, it will be a Glasgow ball. You see there Andreas Kapoulis, head and hands. 31.6 seconds. Pryor to Rinkunas. 8 on the shot clock. Rinkunas from deep, buries it!
There you go.
Tadas Rinkunas, clutch three. Shot clock is off.
You look at Gareth Murray calling for communication, no shot clock.
Drive from Thomas into the paint, off balance, off the glass, 1 point. The Rocks lead, 9.3 seconds. No timeout call. Pryor on the break. Does he get fouled on the shots? You see the call. You wait and see. And it is 2 shots to come. Flowers in the bonus. Second foul against Fred Thomas. And Pryor will go to the line. Vincent Lavandier just out of shot and are beckoning his players back. The other 4 players to talk this over. Pryor, 7 of 8 from the foul line, 16 points. Short. Can he make this at least a 2-point game? He does. Timeout is called by Bristol Flyers coach Andreas Kapoulis. 2 points in it, 5.6 seconds left. And here, if you're Bristol, you've got enough time to get a decent shot here, but you've got to move the ball quickly.
The game is yours to win, essentially. It's yours to win. It's there for the taking. But you can also force a triple overtime. I think if the 2's there, if it's wide open, obviously you take it. You take the quick 2 and you hope for the best, but if you get a wide open 3, you've got to nail it. You've got to take the wide open 3. But if Rocks are going to give you the lane to the basket and force another overtime, I don't think they will, but it's there for the taking. I'm sure Coach Kapoulis will have something drawn up. There's something under his sleeve. You see Coach Lavandier for Glasgow, calm as always. Well, it'll be interesting to see the 5 guys, the 2 teams set out on court.
Well, I think you can bet Gareth Murray's going to be out there from a defensive point of view for the Rocks. I think the one thing you don't want to do here is foul.
No, you saw the foul, sorry, in the NCAA semi-finals last night.
3 points. 2 points the gap it was. Auburn were ahead. A foul in the corner with 0.6 seconds left. 3 foul shots converted. That's the margins. 5.6 seconds remain here. Mayan Domby will inbound. Fred Thomas to send us into triple overtime. 0.46 seconds remain. And a timeout is called. Well, what a clutch play there. Fred Thomas found himself open, had to make it.
I mean, I think Rocks made the right play running him off the 3-point line. They can't risk losing the game, obviously. But, my gosh, Bristol have been clutch when they needed to be. They have hit the tough shots when they've had to. What are you at? 0.4 seconds? So
well, theoretically, 0.4 is exactly the amount that you can get an inbound and get a shot off.
So it'll need to be a quick release. He'll be wide open, ready to shoot.
We can tell you, Leicester Riders have beaten Cheshire Phoenix 94-88. So the Riders moving level with Newcastle Eagles in the second place in the BBL this afternoon. Both those teams now 20-8 records. London top now 22-5. But here we go. Are we heading for double overtime? Or triple overtime, pardon me. 0.4 seconds remain in the second period of overtime. I'm sure somewhere Daniel Routledge will be working out whether there's ever been 2 triple overtime games in a single weekend in BBL history. I suspect the answer is no. Murray, the inbounder. He'll get it. Rinkunas. Well, it was audacious, but we are into triple overtime. Glasgow Rocks 90. Bristol Flyers 90. Drama at the Emirates Arena this afternoon in abundance. The third period of overtime here at the Emirates Arena on a Sunday afternoon in the BBL Championship. 90 points apiece between Glasgow Rocks and Bristol Flyers. We've had a quadruple overtime game this weekend. Could we have 2? Bristol, first possession of the third period of overtime. Marcus Delpeche with a hook shot. Advantage Bristol. Pryor. Look pass into Achara. Murray in the corner. The left-handed shot levels it up.
Absolute beautiful finish from Gareth Murray there. Slashing right from the corner.
Gareth Murray, 0 for 8 until that point. First score of the game. But if you talk about players who can be effective without scoring, Murray's your textbook example. 3-second violation is called. Well, these two teams, Bo Ziegler leading Glasgow with 18 points. Fred Thomas, 26 points. 9 rebounds for Bristol Flyers. Of course, Flyers without Jalen McLeod. Rocks without Buna Njai. Their remaining teammates doing them proud here. 4 minutes to go. Third period of overtime. Pryor. 7 on the shot clock. Pryor. The kick out, the drive, Carpenter the make, Rocks again, advantage Glasgow. 19 points for Kenny Carpenter. Offensive rebound put in by Tevin Falzon. Draws us level once more. Falzon a double-double, 10 points, 10 rebounds. 3:30 to play.
Well, the players have put in a heck of a shift. The referees have put in a heck of a shift. I tell you, those floor wipers. Oof. Some shift they've had tonight.
Until last Thursday, 7 triple overtime games in league history. That's all the way back to 1987. This weekend, 2. You have to go back to the 97-98 season when there was 2 triple overtime games in a month. Bo Ziegler puts Rocks ahead once more. In fact, that was the only other time that there was 2 triple overtime games in the single season. So you're seeing history in the making this weekend, folks. Hat tip there to Dan Routledge. He always has the stats. Possession to Glasgow. 2:49 to go. Greg Pryor to Carpenter. Ziegler on the wing. Fouls on there. Kick out. Achara. Huge three from Kieran Achara.
Massive points for Glasgow from Kieran Achara. Massive three.
9-2 run for Glasgow. Flyers need a response. Backcourt violation committed by Bristol Flyers. 2 minutes and 8 seconds remain in triple overtime. Well, these fans here this afternoon getting their money's worth. The Rocks hand possession back to Bristol. 2 minutes left here now. Vigor. Ziegler in his way. Tel Pesh. Right to the wing. Justin Great. 3-point attempt. Into the hands of Greg Pryor. Pryor slashes inside. Makes it. Greg Pryor. 19.6 rebounds. Bristol timeouts. 7 points the difference. And Pryor, a cold shooting night in regulation, but every time he's had the ball in these overtime periods has made something happen.
Yeah, absolutely clutch. That's his experience that he's gained playing abroad and playing college basketball in the States. You know, he can't let the regular game time affect his post-game time performance. You know, he's been absolutely outstanding. Defensively, the whole game he's been terrific. Defensively, he's been on another level. But offensively, he obviously struggled in the first 40 minutes, but these last 15, he's been probably one of the Rock's best players.
A 7-0 run for Glasgow. Massive, massive at this point. Could this be the decisive break? And there you see details of the Benecos British Basketball Playoff Finals, 19th of May, O2 Arena in London. Get your tickets in now. Full details at the BBL's website at bbl.org.uk. Both these teams very much alive in that playoff race. Both these teams chasing precious victories. Big week for both these teams. Rocks at Leicester Friday, here against Cheshire Phoenix next Sunday. Flyers at London Wednesday, at home to Manchester next Saturday. It will take something in those two games to live up to this one, though. Tel Pesh is fouled as he drove to the basket. At this point, Rocks have got fouls to give. Substitution once more. Countess replacing Bo Ziegler. Ziegler, 20 points and 5 rebounds. Fred Thomas back to the line. Thomas 2 of 4 today. See that. The Rocks have shot 26 from the foul line. Flyers 18. Both teams pretty accurate. Thomas sizes up again. 28 points, a game high for Fred Thomas. 1:30 remains in the third period of overtime. Double team comes to Pryor under pressure. Turnover forced. Drive inside, stuffed on by Justin Gray. Flyers make it a one-shot game. Defensive pressure paying off there. Foul committed. Tactical foul perhaps. And Flyers are in the bonus. Fourth foul against Lewis Champion, who's played very well today, stepping in for Jalen McLeod. Pryor, who else? Back to the line. That deep breath. He knows how much this means. First one goes. 20 points now for Greg Pryor.
You can hear a pin drop.
Second one doesn't go. Pryor, 9 of 12 from the foul line. Inside for Fred Thomas. 2-point game. 1 minute, 1 second remains in the third period of overtime. The crowd on their feet. Who could sit still watching this? Pryor, guarded by Mayan Dumby. Finds room in the lane, into traffic. Huge defensive play there from Bristol Flyers. The shove from Pryor sends Thomas to the floor.
That is a fantastic job by Bristol, though. All their interior defense has a great stance, hands up, not letting Greg get anywhere.
A fourth foul against Greg Pryor. Heavy foul there, you see just at the right of your picture. His teammates easing him up, perhaps just that moment of going, just let me catch a breath. In fact, Mike Vigor signaling to the bench. Perhaps a change required there. Fred Thomas went down hard. I would think after everything that they've battled through, he's not walking off this court to an injury, not at this point. Thomas has just been immense today. Shakes it off, maybe just that fatigue. Second or two of respite. Fred Thomas 4 of 6 from the foul line. Opportunity to draw Bristol Flyers level. Makes the first.
I think it just means too much to them now, doesn't it? They've invested so much. Both teams have invested so much into this game.
32 points in this game. We are level. 40 seconds in the third period of overtime. 102-102. Carpenter. Achara sets a screen. Carpenter waves it off. 10 in the shot clock. Step back, pull up. Doesn't fall. Achara scrambles. Rebound Bristol. Shot clock is off. Bristol will have the prime opportunity here. Rocks will not foul. Fred Thomas guarded by Achara. The long three doesn't go. Murray, and astonishingly, we go to quadruple overtime.
Oh, look at Fred Thomas. Look at him. I don't think his ankle can do another quarter, but he needs to be there. He needs to be there. Bristol have put too much into this. So much basketball for them in the past 48 hours. So much basketball for all these fans. I tell you, whoever loses this game, my heart goes out to them.
Well, appreciate this weekend, folks. 2 quadruple overtimes in one weekend. unbelievable. And the effort here from both these teams, the execution both these teams have shown today has been sensational. And you see the refs, you see Hayden Jones there right in the middle of our picture. It's a wry grin in his face. He wasn't even supposed to be doing this game today. He just happened to be in town and stepped in at the last minute. One of the country's most experienced refs. The refs enjoying it. We're enjoying it. And if you're on the edge of your seats watching this at home, if you're not enjoying this, what are you doing? Rocks, Bristol, first quadruple overtime games in both franchises' history. And both these teams getting applauded back onto the floor, deservedly so.
Now I'm going to ask early, and hate me if you do, can we go to a fifth?
Well, that has only ever happened once in BBL history. But frankly, the way things are going today, who'd bet on this? Question someone just asked me via social media, how Bristol got a flight back from Glasgow tonight? What time is it supposed to leave, and are they going to make it? Interesting question, we'll find out later. Rinkunas avoids the foul, misses the shot. Is the foul given belatedly? If it is, it's a very late call. Ooh. And adjudges a travel.
Hold on, the referees don't agree with that.
Are they calling here? No, they're sticking with that call. I think that was the right call, I have to say, but it was a late call.
Not sure. The co-official on the other side seemed pretty confident with her no travel call. I can understand why she's justifying it, but these guys are, of course, female level guys. I wouldn't argue.
Mayan Dombey, Chara in his way. The follow-up from Delpesh. First blood in the fourth period of overtime. So it's hard to believe saying that out loud. We're calling a triple overtime game once in the NBA, but quadruple overtime. A first, Rinkunas misses then. Felt like a tired shot there.
Talking about tired shots, I'm amazed Delpesh could get up to dunk that. Whew.
Vigor at the handoff, Delpesh, foul, Pryor. That will be Greg Pryor's fifth foul if it is indeed the call. It is indeed a fifth foul against Greg Pryor. He's made huge shots. He has scored 20 points, had 6 rebounds, had 3 assists. But he will sit down and he will be replaced by Johnny Bunyan. The crowd fulsome in their applause. Delpesh steadies himself. First shot does not go. Marcus Delpesh. How significant is this? Apparently, and this is unconfirmed, Bristol's flight delayed. Could be a saving grace. 2 misses there. Huge significance. Carpenter, Achara waits in the post, Delpesh in his wake. Achara, the spin move, bullet pass, Bunyan, corner, doesn't fall.
They can't let that knock their confidence. They're doing a brilliant job moving the ball. They're finding themselves wide open.
Dombey, 6 on the shot clock. Switch into the middle, didn't go. Rinkunas on the break. Slots it in, levels at 104 apiece. 3 minutes left in quadruple overtime. Justin Gray in the wing, guarded by Murray. Delpesh calls for Gray in the lane, drives inside, off bounce, won the shot clock, doesn't go, violation. The Rocks survive.
How important will that be to the outcome of the game? It's early on in this period of overtime, but could prove to be massive.
Carpenter to Rinkunis. Bunyan. Give it to Carpenter, slashes inside. Bunyan for three. Makes it. Johnny Bunyan, clutch.
Massive three from Johnny Bunyan. He's a brilliant three-point shooter. A huge 3-and-D kind of guy.
Bunyan's first score of the game. A miss from Fred Thomas. 2 minutes remain. Carpenter on the break. Knocks it in. Kenny Carpenter. Timeout Bristol. 21 points for Kenny Carpenter. But what a clutch score a moment ago from Johnny Bunyan. Comes off the bench in place of Greg Pryor. And that's a basket that may have turned the momentum in favour of Glasgow Rocks.
It's not about how many minutes you get, but what you do in the minutes you do get. Bunyan really is one of those guys, you can fill the stat sheet, you can do everything in the few minutes.
Well, we say we go back to the third period of overtime. The Rocks led by 7, and it didn't hold. So don't go away. Whatever you're doing, hang fire with this one, because it is some game. Might have to wait another 20 years for another one of these. We see on the floor to our right there, just out of picture just now, Fred Thomas on the floor with cramp. Physios there doing everything they can. Assistant coach Nick Burns with him, trying to get him back on the floor. Look at the minutes that these players have played tonight. Fred Thomas, 53 minutes on court. Justin Gray, 50 minutes on court. Greg Pryor, 50 minutes on court. The Rocks, 39 of 90 from the field. Bristol, 41 of 95. We saw it, Worcester and Surrey on Friday night. Quadruple overtime, 100 shots plus from both teams. And they are dragging Fred Thomas off the floor just now. He cannot even get up to walk.
You saw it when he went down. He didn't even go down in pain. He went down in annoyance that this might be it for him in this game. You could see the upset come on his face when he realised this is a cramp he might not be able to get over. A huge loss for Bristol if he is out. A massive confidence booster for Glasgow.
2 minutes exactly. Rocks up by 5. Ryan Dombey harangued by Johnny Bunyan. 10 on the shot clock. Calls for help. The screen comes from Delpesh. Achara, the switch. Into the post they go. Delpesh off the glass. 2 seconds on the shot clock remain. He converts. 1 shot game again. 1:30 to go in the 4th period of overtime. Bunyan on the wing. Gives it to Achara. Bulldozes his way inside. The foul committed by Marcus Delpesh. 2 shots to come from Kieran Achara. I bet he's never played a game like this in his career. So many years, 10 years as a pro, years in college at Duquesne, a junior with Falkirk Fury. This one, with just a few games left in his career, will live long in his memory. First one doesn't go. Second one to make it a two-shot game. And he does, Kieran Achara. 19 points, 10 rebounds here this afternoon.
Yeah, it's been some career for Kieran Achara, but if this is his last season, which it's looking likely.
Well, I think it's definitely his last season. I don't think he's changing his mind. Mayan Dombey makes it a 2-point game.
Well, if it is his last season, it's been one heck of a season for him.
Bunyan, hand off to Carpenter. Into the last minute crowd again on their feet. Rinkunas, 6 on the shot clock, drives into the lane, huge basket. Tadas Rinkunas, 2-shot game once again.
I don't know who said it, I don't know where they said it, but big time players make big time plays and big time games. Massive drive to the basket.
Mayan Dombey curls inside, switch inside, Delpeche off the glass. 2-point game again. Marcus Delpeche. Big plays here.
That pick and
18 points, 5 rebounds. Achara built it past to Murray. Opts to hold. Foul comes. Bunyan will go to the line. And this crowd here, can't believe what they're seeing. Johnny Bunyan. We've seen how ice cold he is. Dagger, 90% free throw shooter. The man you'd want on the foul line. Doesn't make the first though. So it will remain a 1-shot game. Second one goes. Bristol need a 3. Mayan Dombey has made big threes. Foul comes. Sensible foul there. Sends Mayan Dombey to the line. Can only make 2. It is that strategy now. It comes. Achara picks up his second. Mayan Dombey, first trip to the foul line today. He is only a 46% free throw shooter on the season. And the first goes missing. You think really almost here you've got to miss this. You've got to miss this and look for your teammates to get the rebound.
Yeah.
Makes that 2 points the difference. A timeout is called by Rock's coach Vincent Levandier.
Yeah, I think you're right in calling the play. The obvious decision would have been to clang it off the rim and fight for the rebound and kick it out for the 3. But, you know, Coach Kapoulis must have something drawn up. They must be conditioned in these kind of situations.
Well, from this point on, if you're Bristol now from the inbound and the Rocks send the ball to someone, let's say, who isn't as strong a free throw shooter, do you gamble? Do you go, maybe they make 1 of 2? We get up the court, maybe the second off the shot clock, you have 5.8 seconds left to get the ball inbounded and take a 3 to the level again. You know, at this point, if you leave the Rocks in possession for too long, they win the game. So I think now, if you're the Rocks, you get the ball inbound to Johnny Bunyan, Kieran Achara, follow them or not, you know they're going to make, odds are they're going to make at least 1 of 2.
Yeah, absolutely.
Probably make 2 of 2.
There's all these situations, either that or the airlines told them that their plane can't be delayed any longer. It's time to go, boys.
I don't know if you can get flight insurance for quadruple overtime. Does that count as an act of God? Inexplicable circumstances, who knows? Anyway, 6.8 seconds remain. Murray will inbound. They get it to Achara. Double team comes under pressure. The foul does not come quickly. That is probably a second. In fact, is it a call here? For an out of bounds. That's what Andrew. It's a jump ball.
A jump ball.
And it's in favour of Bristol Flyers.
Is that not just the ideal
Held
situation?
Ball there. 3.4 seconds left. They can advance it, so it's going to have to be a fast acceleration. 2 points needed. It's going to be a 3-point shot attempt here. The long three for the win. And after 4 periods of overtime, the Glasgow Rocks beat the Bristol Flyers 113-111. And what an astonishing game of basketball it has been. The Rocks led by 21 points from Kenny Carpenter. The Bristol Flyers led by 32 from Fred Thomas. But it has been a game that will live long in the memory for all who have seen it. And hats off to both these teams here this afternoon. An astonishing game of resilience and drama. Glasgow improved their record to 15-12. They move back to 4th place in the BBL. Bristol Flyers 12-15. They remain 9th, but a standing ovation, and Jonathan, deserve it for both these teams.
Yeah, my heart goes out to Bristol for that loss. They had blood, sweat, tears and injuries right into that game. But this is absolutely massive for Glasgow, massive for their season. This shows them they can come through the resilience. It shows them the great team that they can be and fight through adversity. It was a great bonding experience for them.
4 overtimes, amazing. This week's fixtures, London Lions, the hosts for Bristol Flyers on Wednesday night. Thursday, Manchester hosting the London City Royals. And then Friday night, the Rocks next back in action. They visit Leicester when Newcastle will host Sheffield. But this afternoon, it's been a game, it's been a classic, it's been an epic, but it's ended with the Glasgow Rocks in quadruple overtime, beating the Bristol Flyers 113-111. It's been astonishing. Hope you've enjoyed it as much as we have. For Jonathan and me, thanks for watching. We'll catch you again soon.